Hey guys, happy Monday. We have a guest speaker tonight, Shawna Pringle. I am really excited to have Shawna speak life into our team, motivation, her story, sharing all the things. And I only know a lemon slice, like just a smidge of her story. And it was so heartfelt, the way that she climbed in the business and how she had life happen and now she's climbing back up. Like I just you need to hear this tonight, and I'm ready to hear it as well too. I barely met Shawna like just not too long ago. Not in Miami, Cabo. I met her just the other week in Cabo because we both got asked to do the social media team, to take pictures, video content for Lavelle for this trip, so they could put and I've never done it before. Maybe you can explain it better, but they put content together for the trips, right? For promotional reasons. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they choose so many. I think they look to see who's good on social media, and they will choose several promoters to help them take all of the pictures and videos, and then they use them to upload and highlight on their social media.
Yes, it was so cool. It was such an opportunity. And so that's how I met Shawna. She actually reached out to me through that group, and I was like, "Oh, hey, like I'm so glad I met another thriver." Like, and we just started conversation from there. Like this community, it expands so much farther than just who we have personally enrolled on our teams. Like it's so much bigger than what we even can imagine. So that's why I had her come on here tonight. So Shawna, we're ready to hear your story.
Awesome. Okay, where do you want me to start? From the beginning and just share about my journey?
I'm ready to hear all of it because, like I said, like a lemon slice was that you started with Lavelle, and you like from what I understand, like you basically went to the top, was like blowing it up. Quit your full time business, and I won't say all of it. And I know you quit your full time business, your job, and then life happened, and now you're back with Lavelle and just taking care of business. So I'm ready to hear all of it. I'm ready to hear all of it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on tonight. Thank you guys. So I am Shawna Pringle. I live in Virginia, and I started as a customer in 2018. I was introduced to Thrive in 2016 by another person in the fitness industry and who was also in the medical field. So I have been a bodybuilder since I was 18 years old. My dad was a bodybuilder, and we owned a gym, and my sisters are bodybuilders. So it's like a whole family. And I'm 43 now, so I don't compete anymore. But I have always been in the health and fitness industry, and I am a doctor of physical therapy. And so I was introduced to Thrive in 2016, but I was one of those big skeptics, right? And it didn't perk my interest, right? Well, I was sent a sample, and I don't think I even took it right. I don't even know if I was set up with a website, honestly. So this is a learning lesson, right? I was sent a sample in 2016. Here, try this. I really wasn't interested in it. So I don't even think I wore the patch. I was like, I'm not wearing this patch thing, right? And I did the sample, or partly did the sample, and I was like, yep, didn't feel anything. So that was 2016, okay? Never even looked at the site. I don't even know if I had a site. And so life went on. And by 2018, that same person was still talking about Thrive, still reaching out for 2 years, every now and then, right? Sometimes it was about life stuff. Sometimes she's like, hey, do you want to try this Thrive yet? Right. And 2018, this is actually how she got me onto it. She said, I'm doing a study. I'm looking at fitness people compared to just regular average people. And I want to see how your experience is with Thrive. I need you to do it for a whole month, exactly the way I tell you. And I think she was going to send me like one item, and I had to choose the other two, or I had to buy the other two, but it was a big discount. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I'm competitive. And so I was like, oh, this is like a comparison thing. Cool. So that's when I started. Now, 2018, I was exhausted. I was a doctor of physical therapy, working full-time doing that. I was not competing at the time, but I was a nutrition coach. And I was also a makeup artist, and I had a big team, and we did makeup and hair at bodybuilding shows, weddings, all of that. So I had a lot on my plate, and I was exhausted. And I was having really bad digestion, really bad digestion. I wouldn't go to the bathroom sometimes 6 days. Like, these are things that need to be talked about because it's a big issue, and especially in the fitness industry too. The more you compete, it seems a lot more digestion issues start to pop up. Now I've learned a lot about it now, so I know how not to have that happen. But so I was exhausted. I would wake up and no longer enjoy going to work. I know you probably feel that and have sensed that. Like, that was me. I was like, I went 7 years to get my doctorate and I'm so exhausted. I don't even want to go to that career anymore. I loved doing makeup, and it started to become more of a hassle, right? It was just like, ugh. Even though I knew I'd make so much money, it was just like, oh, is this worth it? I was tired. Okay. So I got my Thrive, and I did it right this time. I still set my coffee pot, up the night before. And I was living off of four energy drinks a day and several coffees. All right. Miss Health Fanatic. I worked in a hospital at the time as a physical therapist, walking on the heart unit with an energy drink it was just horrible, right? I was literally making myself more exhausted by, fatiguing my adrenal glands. So a day one Thrive, I wake up, I'm like, okay, I got to do this Thrive stuff again, right? And I still made my coffee, did my 3 steps, and within a very short time, I realized I didn't finish my coffee. I got to work early. I was happier. I didn't stop for my normal energy drink. I got home. I didn't take my normal nap that night, and the next night, and the next night. I was up late giggling. Giggling in bed. I was happy. I had not felt that way in a few years, several years. And my boyfriend, by day 3, I'll never forget, we were laying in bed at night, and I'm still with him. He's still my boyfriend. We were laying in bed, and he's like, is this stuff legal? Like, you're totally different. And that was when he was like, go ahead and order this for me. Well, that first week, I just was a whole new person. And people noticed it. And I couldn't stop talking about it. And for whatever reason, I was posting about it. Just naturally, organically, hey guys, I'm going to start this Thrive stuff. Let's see what happens, and I just kept giving updates like, what the heck? My belly's feeling better. I'm looking better. And people wanted it. So that led to the promoter, right? My sponsor at the time, my upline at the time says, hey, you already have people interested. When can you talk? I want to tell you about the business. Well, I had a lot of businesses at that time, and I was like, okay. All right, let's talk about it, but I really have no interest in doing this. So we get on the phone, and she actually connects me to her leader, right? Third party. And they are like pumping me up. Oh my gosh, girl, your story's amazing. Let me hear your story. Oh my gosh, you have so many people that are going to relate to you. And then what do? They get me on an experience call right away. Yeah, I'll share. Okay. So by that night, I had so many people who wanted to order. It made sense. They're like, hey, you may as well get money off of this too. Not just Thrive for free, but you can make money. And I'm like, well, I'm busy. Like, I've got this full-time job. I've got this job. I've got this. I'm trying to grow this. Hey, all you have to do is just connect them to me, just like you did with because my sisters, I had already ordered. Okay. Just like you did with her. I'm like, that's it. I just have to share my experience and connect. I can do that. All right. What do I have to do? Okay. And I became a promoter. I was so excited, and I shared my story, and people noticed, how I felt very quickly. I learned about the bonuses, and I earned at that time just the 800 and 1600. We didn't have the VIP 400. I earned 4K in 2 weeks. In 5 weeks, just under 5 weeks, I earned an auto bonus, and it just took off. But what I had found was a community of people that I didn't realize I needed. I moved around a lot as a child. My parents would separate, get back together, divorce. It was just, so I never had that close group of friends. even like going through college, and I just never. So I had found this community of amazing people, and it just really made it so much more exciting. Okay, so I think it was I just missed 40K in my third month. So I was almost at 40K in my third month. Well, so I got the 800 pack when I joined. So I was getting paid as a 200K. Okay. I went all in. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in. I've got to get this product in people's bodies. And so I was earning, I couldn't believe what I was earning, right? I was earning a lot quickly, and I knew I still had my makeup business. So I literally walked away from my doctor of physical therapy job. I joined October, December, I walked away. And what gave me the strength to do that was I knew my work ethic. And I knew that if I could do what I just did and keep going up from there, that there was no question I'd still be able to pay my bills, and it would only keep getting better. Like I knew that I wouldn't stop. Okay. And so I walked away, and I never returned. That was 2018. So I got to 40K like that next year. Actually, it was during a 50% rank bonus. I think it was in March or something. I earned $20,000. I was in England standing in a castle, literally. I couldn't even in England hardly do three-ways. My team, I was like, hey, I have this person. Okay, let me call them. Like they were doing whatever, my uplines were doing what they could do because I couldn't even connect half the time. And I earned that bonus standing in a castle in England. It was just crazy. And then like shortly later, I don't remember, I got to 80K. Okay. I got to close to, the most I was at was 130, and my team got to 130. Okay. That jump from 80K to 200K is like, whoa, right? We need something in between there. And so I was at 80K for a bit, and, I moved from Virginia to Florida, and I started to not feel good, and I didn't know why. And my Thrive wasn't quite working. And I knew there had to be, I'm like, okay, Thrive has worked for, several years at this point. So what's going on with my body that I'm not feeling this? I was so fatigued, I could barely get out of bed. I was falling into just a deep depression, really. And no one knew. Like no one knew. I haven't really thought about this or talked about this for a while, but I would sit at home. My man, he would be out running appointments. We have an insurance agency also, so we have that business also. And he would be out, and I never stopped my capsules. Those capsules got me out of bed. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of bed. Okay. But there was times where I would just sit in the bathroom and just cry because I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, where it's like, there's something not wrong with my body. This isn't me. Like, what's wrong? So I thought, okay, it started when I moved. There's got to be something environmental here. So we found my body was overloaded with mold. I had brain fog. I couldn't think of words. It was horrible. I couldn't think of like just simple words sometimes. I'm like, what is going on? I had to wake up and my feet hurt. I couldn't walk. Like my feet hurt so bad. And I was so like bloated and distended that I was having, it looked like I was pregnant. I could never get pregnant all of these years. I have an ex-husband. So we tried for 10 years, different fertility doctors, could never get pregnant. And I literally looked pregnant. I'm like, is this what it's like to be pregnant? Because this is painful, right? So I start detoxing. I start working with naturopaths to get this mold out of my body, 4 different molds, very high levels, black mold being one of them. And find out the house that we're living in Florida, right by the bay, beautiful area, has mold in it. So I'm like, well, I can't feel better while I'm living in it, right? And for whatever reason, it actually I knew there was more than just the mold. I'm like, there's something more going on. My back was hurting. Now my hemoglobin and iron were critically low. Like I really was supposed to go get transfusions, but I never made it that far. So I decided, let's go see an OB, right? OB-GYN, female doctor. It was time to go see a female doctor. So several years ago, I had several surgeries to remove polyps in my uterus and different things. So I go and I find out after, you got fibroids, you got polyps, we've got to do more surgery, remove that, blah, blah. And I find out I have uterine cancer. So this was just December of 2021. And my doctor said, I've never seen it in someone your age, young, 40, I'm 43, I was 42, 41, 42. Because uterine cancer is usually just obese women or postmenopausal normally. And my chances for getting uterine cancer was increased because I could never get pregnant, for one. That was the main thing. And so she was shocked when I was supposed to see her assistant. And then all of a sudden they call me and say, oh, well, your doctor wants to see you instead. I was like, oh no, that's not good. And I won't ever forget that day. When I went to the office, I don't know what, I should have took my man with me, but I went by myself and she said, well, I need to refer you to an oncologist. And I thought, what? I have lived my whole life so healthy. How can I have cancer? By this time we had decided we were moving out of Florida. So we're packing the house. And in 2 weeks, I'm supposed to move out of Florida. Now she tells me I need to see an oncologist. Well, how do I see an oncologist in Florida when I'm moving in 2 weeks? It's not easy to get into them. So I have this weighing me down for weeks until I pack the house. We move to North Carolina. I have to research and find oncologists that I trust, right? And I get in and they're like, well, you need to have a full hysterectomy, right? So I move and I'm like, okay, full hysterectomy, I guess that's my only option. So that's January of 2022. And it hit me really hard. It hit me hard because even though at that point in time, like I'm 43, never got pregnant, but there was always that hope, maybe I would, right? And so I'll never forget laying there all hooked up, waiting to go have surgery. And I knew they had to say this, but it really hit me. She said, well, you're never going to have kids after having a hysterectomy. And I was like, I just started bawling. I was just like, I know. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just like, it just hit me so hard. So anyways, all of that being said, during that time, of course, I could barely show up, right? I could barely get out of bed. No one knew this. I didn't post this on social media, right? No one knew I was struggling like this. No one. Even my boyfriend didn't know the extent of it because I was crying by myself when he wasn't there. But he saw me laying on the couch, every day when he got home, barely going to bed early. I mean, it was miserable. And my business took a back burner, right? I mean, I went from getting closer and closer to 200K to now at the beginning, January 2020, January. See, I can't even think now. Beginning of this year, I was barely at 12K. Beginning of this year, I was barely at 12K. I never lost my auto bonus that whole time. Let me just tell you how wonderful it was to have this business when I couldn't work, right? To have this business still bringing money in. That I had built up such a great organization that I had so many customers still ordering, even when I wasn't showing up, because the product works that well that people stay on it, right? And that I still had promoters buying, but I wasn't showing up. So of course my business went backwards. But after the surgery, after I got through all of that, I realized how precious life is, right? And how precious our health is, more than ever. And I got back on my Thrive and I was like, I'm just going to grow this again. I just made a decision. I'm going to grow this again because I loved this community. I love this product. In the meantime, my direct upline leaves. She was a 200K. Okay. She leaves, and I'm just going to be honest here. Okay, I hope you don't mind. She leaves, and she's trying to recruit me to where she went. She's trying to take all of my team and everyone else's teams. Okay. I don't follow people. Why would I leave a product that has helped me so much? I never want to go back to the person I was before Thrive, right? I do not want to. And after my surgery and my cancer is gone, I didn't need chemo, didn't need radiation. It was just in the uterus. So I just had my 6-month follow-up. Every 6 months, still got to follow up, of course, and all of that. But as soon as I was able to, I got back on my Thrive, and it was like day one again. The product works. I'm not going to follow people. Why would I leave when this product is something that changed my life so much? All I knew was I have to share what my experience is again. That's it. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't showing up. People didn't know if I was still thriving or not, really. And all I had to do was show up and be honest and be me and be authentic, because that's what's always, that's what got me to where I was in the beginning. Being me. I never wanted to try to be someone else and post like someone else. And I think it's so important because people want to see you. People want to see you being vulnerable. People want to relate to someone like themselves, not a perfect person. I wanted to take people on my journey. I talk about domestic abuse that I went through with my ex. I talk about the cancer journey. I talk about I had breast implant illness and had to remove my implants because they made me sick many years ago. I talk about that. And, that saved many other women. I show up and talk about the bad just as much as I show the good, but I'm not negative about it, right? I don't want to show up as a negative person because I like to be positive, because what you think comes about, right? So you always want to be positive as you show up. But I knew if I could come back and share my experience again, and be honest, that it would grow again. And it didn't matter that my upline was gone, right? I knew the simple steps that I needed to take. The system is here. It's the same system every single time, month after month, whether you're new or you're old as a promoter, not new or old age, but new or old as a promoter, right? It's always the same thing. So I started to share again. I said, hey guys, I'm thriving again. I feel amazing. You've seen my journey. You've cried with me. You've prayed with me. And I could not wait to get back to this Thrive, because I didn't feel it working before. I knew my body was sick, and I'm feeling it again. I feel amazing. And I took them on a whole new journey. And I'm saying this because some of you guys may feel like you need to restart, right? We can restart today. We can restart tomorrow. You can make the decision to say, hey, I'm not sharing enough. I'm not posting enough. I haven't shared my story for 2 years, right? And you can always just make that one decision to show up again. So I did that. Guess what? The rank bonuses were announced. I didn't know they were going to announce them, because guess what? I don't wait for a promo. I don't wait for an announcement. You can't sit and wait. When are they going to do that double QV again, right? You can't sit and wait. Why am I waiting when I need to get people on Thrive now? I need to save lives like this did to me. Okay. So you can make a decision any moment that you want. And so that's what I did. I didn't care my upline was gone, but I knew I needed a team. I needed that community. I needed support above me. Okay. So what did I do? I reached out above. Janetta's on here. Janetta is now my direct upline. Okay. And it's been the most wonderful thing, the most beautiful experience this year. She was the running partner I needed. Where I wasn't meant to be. The upline I was with, she wasn't the one I was supposed to be with. Janetta runs hard. I run hard. And so it's been such an amazing thing this year. Things happen sometimes for a reason, I feel, right? Things had to fall apart with my body, with the business, so that it could build even better. And so when you get upset when you have maybe promoters leaving, it's okay. They weren't meant to be on your journey, right? Sometimes people just aren't meant to be on our journey for that long haul. I know Janetta always says to me, whoever gets you to 40K is not going to be who's going to get you to 80K. It's not going to be the same people that get you to 200K. I can't drag people, right? I want people to succeed so badly, but I can't drag promoters with me. I'm there to love on them, whether they're, going to work this business or not. You have to love people where they are, but you can't let them slow you down. I could not let my upline walking away, trying to take my promoters, trying to take promoters from other teams, stop me, right? I knew my goals and I knew what I wanted to reach. I still want to get to 200K. I am a 200K. This is what we say. My back office just didn't catch up yet, right? I'm a 200K, right? My back office is just not there yet. And so I restarted, and all I knew was the more people I can help, whether it's customer or promoter, the more people I help win in life, the quicker I'm going to win in life. So rank bonuses happened, right? And I could not wait to help other people earn their bonuses. I think it was February, March, I helped 17 of my personal people earn bonuses. Guess what that was? 100% match, right? 100. That bonus check, I don't know if we can say numbers, but that bonus check was more than what some people probably make in a year, because I made a decision to help people. And when you focus on helping your team win, you're just going to by default win. So I went from barely being a 12K to hitting the 40K to hitting the 80K bonus. Okay. Then my man's a promoter too, of course, has been thriving with me for almost 5 years. And so then we hit his 12K. And then last month during the 50%, we hit his 40K. Okay. I don't know how many new auto bonus earners under me now. And our team, I'll say our big team, Janetta, all of us, we've helped over 150 people, I think, earn bonuses during this bonus season. Now it's bonus season again for the new people, right? So who can you help? Who are you offering this business to? I already have a list of, I don't know. You have to be organized, guys. Look, this folder is called bonus season. It is. You want to see? Look, I'm writing names of people I want to be promoters, who I align with. Who do you align with? Who do you want to be? I think of my customers who are having great experiences. If they're posting about it, I'm like, yep, that's a promoter. Every time I write someone down, they eventually become a promoter. I'm putting it into the universe, and it happens, you guys. So all of these, this is bonus season. Who am I helping? Who am I helping earn bonuses? Remember, when you help others, it's going to help you. So moving forward, we've got July, August, and September. You can make a decision, and don't think, oh, well, this isn't for me. It's not bonus season for me because I'm not new. It's bonus season for everyone. We can get those matches. If I can get 17 people in 1 month, right? Then anyone can get. We just need 12 new promoters to hit bonuses, right? Use your waiting room, guys. Use your waiting room. Stack them. Make some teams. And help them. Help them all hit bonuses. And then guess what? You can literally make more by getting that 100% rank bonus than hitting a rank, 100% rank yourself. You can. We've seen the numbers, we've seen the deposits. It's crazy. But anyways, that's my journey. And I don't know what people are saying because I haven't been reading, but what questions do you have for me, Laurel?
Oh my gosh, that this call was everything that I was hoping it was going to be, but I knew it was going to be fire because just the way that you carry yourself, you're so professional, you're so put together, and just the light that you put out into the world. And I'm fangirling hardcore right now that you and Janetta are both on my team call right now. Like I'm fangirling because these ladies have gone to the extremes of working their businesses. So I really appreciate you being on my team call tonight and pouring that light into us. I don't honestly, literally all of the questions that I personally wrote down, you answered them. You answered them just as you went on, but you dropped so many good pointers of that this business is easy and we can make it as easy or as hard as we want it to be. And you really just carry yourself in such a way and you express that to other people that it's about serving others, that when we just help other people and we put them first, like we win by default. And you couldn't have said that any better. I haven't heard that any better from anywhere else. Like we would just win by default when we put other people first. And within our team, we say that as a servant heart. Have a servant heart first, and then by default, you will win. But I loved how you dropped some takeaways for us as well to take away from this call going into the rest of bonus season. And if anybody has questions, like please drop them in the chat or unmute yourself. But the last follow-up, the points that you dropped was just show up, like just freaking show up. If you can go from being almost a 200K, like back down to 12K, like, and to start like really building that back up and you're back to 80, like Shawna is giving us the secret sauce to her success. And all it is just freaking show up. Be in your stories, start posting, screaming thrive from the rooftops. Like that's all it is. It's the same system that I'm using, that Courtney's using, that Shawna, Janetta, Bobby, like it's the same system that any person can use here. It's nothing special. It's just showing the freak up in your stories and your social media. That's it. So I love that. I love how you just made that so simple for us.
I think also just being so confident in what you have. Don't ever forget your why. Don't forget your story. And for the longest time, we talk about our why a lot. And I know over the years, Janetta has asked me, what's your why? And I always had a hard time because I feel like a lot of people's why is their kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't have kids. I got 2 amazing little puppies now. If you follow me, you're going to see these puppies a lot. But now it's like, oh, now I'm a part of the puppy community, right? So you have to post what people love. People love dogs. They love kids. They love, so people want to see your life and your lifestyle, your thriving lifestyle. They want to see you thriving, right? But you have to have that confidence in what we have. You have to posture when you are presenting yourself. Like people, I don't care what anyone thinks about this anymore. In the beginning, I did, right? I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to wear the sticker, but I know what this is doing for people. And so I show up on my social media with the confidence. When I talk to people, I tell them, you are going to love this. Like, I don't have a question about it. If you follow this for 30 days, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Like you have to have that confidence. If you don't have that confidence yet, you've got to find it. You've got to just be doing the 3-way connections. Connect to someone that has the confidence. You're going to learn it from them. Because I wasn't that confident about this in the beginning, right? I just connected. But I feel like when you go through something where you're just you don't know what the outcome of your life is going to be. I didn't know how bad my cancer was until they did the surgery, right? For weeks, a couple months, I didn't know if it was throughout my body. They just don't standardly do a PET scan. Like I didn't know. You completely rethink and reevaluate your life. I tell people now, cancer saved me. It saved my life because I have become the person I always wanted to be, right? I'm becoming everything I could be. I couldn't before because I didn't have the life lessons. I didn't know how precious every day is. I didn't have the gratitude. I have such gratitude now to, especially for this business, to walk my puppies anytime I want because I'm not at a job, right? It's like I walked by a physical therapy clinic the other day at like 10 a.m. walking my puppies. I'm like, I'm getting some sun. And I'm like, my gosh, it's been 4 years since I sat in an office. I can do this because I made a decision to just do it. I just went for it. And that's just always been my mindset, but you've got to find that mindset. You have to know that you can create anything you want, right? Don't use your past and become a victim of it. It's sad because I see that in my sister. My older sister lost her husband to suicide. That was a devastating time. And my sister just hasn't completely transitioned out of being a victim of that. And it just hurts me so bad because it's like, that happened. What happens in our past happened. It's done. It's over, right? Move on. Create the life you want. If Janetta, I'm going to use Janetta as an example because you guys probably don't all know her story, but it's freaking amazing. If Janetta could come into this business with 5 friends, as she says, mom was one of those friends, $0 to her name. She sold stuff to get a $400 pack. She said no 12 times to Thrive. Someone forced a Thrive sample into her body that changed her life, right? If someone can go from $0 selling stuff to get a $400 pack to now one of the Lavelle millionaires, top in the company, right? Multi-million-dollar business, then why can't you? When are you going to stop the excuses? When are you going to count yourself out? When are you going to get off the sidelines, right? I tell my team, I don't need a cheerleader. Get off the sidelines. Come on, I need you to play with me, right? Just get in the game. We have a thing that we are doing as a team this year. Janetta started. It's called Put Me In Coach, and we get coach bags and purses, and so we can win like each month these gifts. And so we talk all the time about Put Me In Coach. Like, we got to run with the runners. We can't sit on the sidelines. But don't count yourself out. You can become anything you want to become. You can build anything you want to. It's not that, see what Janetta says, it's not the company, it's not the product, it's not lack of people. The world is full of people. It's you. If you're not where you want to be, it's you. It's true, right? How many people do you see walking around with a DFT? Not many. Not many, right? I'm still horrible about just like talk. People will ask me as I'm walking the dogs, what, if I see them like often, what is that? I'm so horrible about getting my phone out and getting their information. Like, there's so many areas where I still need to grow because deep down, I'm an introvert. I'm a shy person. I like to kind of stay like in my own lane. Like, that's just me. You wouldn't think so because I'll get on stage in a tiny bikini when I competed, but I'm actually pretty shy. And so, yeah, it's not your upline. Shawna didn't have one. Exactly. If you're using that as an excuse, my team's not good, my upline doesn't help. I got to 80K and beyond. 130,000 was our biggest month. And I did a lot of it on my own because I wasn't connected to Janetta at that time. Thank goodness I reached out and I was like, and we, got connected because you can't do it on your own. I was burnt out. I was burnt out. I was trying to do it on my own because my upline wasn't showing up. I got burnt out. What should I have done? I should have reached up more. I should have been working with Janetta back then, right? You can't do it on your own. reach out and use uplines, communicate with side sisters if you need to, right? But it's all the same simple steps, the same simple system that works. All right, Laurel, what else? Any questions, guys? I'll keep going on now.
I honestly don't have any questions. Do you guys have questions? That call was seriously so much fire. Like, I don't know about you, like I'm ready to go live. I'm ready to go finish my follow-ups for tonight. Like, I'm ready to go do all the things. If you guys have any kind of questions, like Shawna is obviously like willing to help and spill the beans, tell the secret sauce, like anything. But of course, if you guys come up with questions later, we can always shoot them over to her. I'll drop her Instagram in our team chat so you guys can go follow her, see her cute dogs. Just everything that Shawna is, she just screams thrive from the rooftops in every corner of her life. And I hope you guys go follow her. She's been really inspirational to watch. But if you guys don't have any questions, then I'm gonna peace out and I'm gonna go live too. So thank you, Shawna.
Thank you, guys.